Amateur Baseball Association Team MVP. It's the same award 2 current MLB players have won. He played baseball in college. But during his time of playing in college, a drunk driver ended the Cardinal Cowboys baseball career, putting the Cowboy into a coma with less than a 50-50 chance to survive. However, this Cowboy proved the doctors wrong, stayed in school, finished college, went to graduate school, and became an All-American and professional field goal kicker. He now shares his story with students and groups all over. Please help me welcome our very own Cardinal Cowboy and his friend, Riverbend. Can you please get them wound up?
Give it up for Mrs. Armstrong. Is she doing a great job today? All right, guys. My name is Cardinal, otherwise known as the Cardinal Cowboy. Do we have any Cardinal fans in the house? You guys got to do better than that. Do we have any Cardinal fans in the house? How many of you guys know my good friend, Fred Bird? All right, Fred Bird, I'm going to handle the talking here. Is that okay? All right. Did you guys get that? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. Many of you may know my story a little bit. I'm going to share it with you quickly and help you guys understand a little bit where I come from and a little bit about my background. And hopefully it gives you guys a little bit of insight because, I was in a bad situation and decided I was going to make something positive come out of it no matter what other people, the experts, told me. So a little bit about my story. I was in college, like they were talking about earlier. I just won the same award as a guy by the name of Dave Freese. He won it after I did. Same with Ryan Howard for Most Valuable Player for the St. Louis Amateur Baseball Association. And I was playing baseball in college when I decided to come home and visit friends, actually out here in Eureka. And fate would have it that there was a car driving towards us, spinning out of control, that ran into us head on. The driver of the car was actually drunk. He later blew what they say is a .21, which is very, very intoxicated, which is illegal, and obviously. And at that point, my life was literally flipped upside down. Scouts are talking to me, baseball scouts, college scouts, etc., thinking maybe I've got a shot at this. The guy who won the MVP for the entire league ended up playing AAA for the St. Louis Cardinals, a guy by the name of Brian Rupp. He beat me out for the league MVP, and I thought it was on my way up until this happened. So I'm actually on the side of the highway, right up here in Highway 109. Anybody know where 109 is? About 5 minutes away from the firehouse where there's an ambulance. And thank goodness there was an ambulance, right? It was a nice short 5-minute drive to pick us up. But the first ambulance arrived. I was coherent at that point, don't remember any of this, talking to the paramedics, and they're about to send the first ambulance. The drunk driver's in the ambulance. My buddy Jimmy, who later passed away, was in the ambulance. And then I began to have seizures. Has anybody ever seen anybody have seizures? Not too pleasant, is it? Thank goodness I don't remember having the seizures. But at that point, they pulled the drunk driver out of the car, put me in, and had I not made that first trip to the hospital in the first ambulance, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm here for a reason. I end up going to the hospital. They shoot me up with a drug called Dilantin that will stop the seizures. I then proceeded to go into a coma. Has anybody ever been in a coma? Some people have. Typically, most people haven't. Sometimes they're real traumatic, sometimes not as traumatic, but anything in a coma is bad. But they gave me less than 50-50 odds to survive. What they didn't know was the inner strength and ambition that I had. And I attribute that almost solely to my athletic background and playing the sport that I loved, and I still love, known as baseball. And who was my team as I grew up? Anybody want to guess? The St. Louis Cardinals, right? Now, I understand we do have some Cubs fans here. Do we have a couple Cubs fans? There we go, that's right. Hey, are you at least a baseball fan, right? All right. What's your name? Ron, I want to personally thank you. The Cardinals would not have 11 World Series titles. If it weren't for the Cubs, then we really appreciate it. Now, the Cubs do have a good team this year, and I'm just glad you're a baseball fan, all right? But we got to have a little fun with our Cubs fans. Come on up later, I'll give you some knuckles, all right? All right. So I'm in the hospital. They gave me less than 50-50 odds to survive. I'm in a coma. I pull my arms out of the restraints. I grab the ventilator out of my own throat, at which point they say, we think he's going to make it. They then proceed to tell my parents, very likely for the rest of my life, somebody's going to have to take care of me. Is there anybody here that thinks I proved them wrong? And so my message to you guys is, if there's anything to take from what I went through, it would be to prove that, yeah, I proved them wrong, and the situation was horrible. And the doctors said I wasn't going to make it. And then they said I wasn't going to be able to take care of myself. Now, we all would agree, I maybe haven't made quite a full recovery. There's something a little bit different about me. Would you agree? But there's something different about every one of us. And you need to take that difference, go after it, and then change the world. And that's the mission I'm on right now. Because you see, after I survived that, and I proved the experts wrong, they're telling me what I was not going to be able to do, what I was never going to be able to accomplish, how I wasn't going to be able to chase my dreams any longer. I just refused to listen. It was the doctors saying this, not my friends, not my coworkers, not the people I went to school with. It was the doctors saying this to me. My dad pulled me out of there and said, we'll never talk to that group of doctors again. And it wasn't that they were deliberately trying to diminish they got to be careful, right? They got to protect what they say. They're all worried about getting sued. Well, I went on my own anyway and proved them wrong. And what I realized in doing so is that I have no special ability. I really don't. But what I figured out is, if I have a will to accomplish something, and I never, ever, ever stop, no matter what anybody says, I can accomplish anything I set my mind to. Anything. My baseball career may have been ended at that point, but I later went on to work for a small brewery based out of St. Louis. Many of you probably heard, called Anheuser-Busch. I finished college on time. I finished grad school, and I ran the email systems for the largest brewery in the world. All after I was supposed to be dead. I then decided to go out and try out for an indoor football team. I ended up getting some NFL tryouts, and then I made it as a professional kicker, where I got paid as one of my lifetime goals to be a professional athlete. And I just didn't let the experts, the naysayers, tell me what I couldn't do. No matter how credible they were, no matter how intelligent they were, how well informed they were, I had this inner burning desire that I didn't let stop me. So now I know what it's like to be pushed to the brink, to be given the ultimate denial, to be told what wasn't possible, and I overcame it. And I do it every day. And nothing ever is going to stop me. I get to hang out with my good buddy Fred Bird on occasions, many times. I get to meet all kinds of exciting, cool people, owners of businesses, top-level executives, big corporations that many of you know, and they enjoy the message that we bring because it talks about how you can prove that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. Here's the deal. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how fast you are. It doesn't matter how strong you are. It doesn't matter if you've got the most connections. It doesn't matter if you have the most money. It matters if you have the will to get there and you're willing to go after it no matter what. You see, it's your decision if you're going to overcome the hurdles that you're going to run into. In baseball, when somebody makes a mistake, they call that an error, right? And my dad had a great analogy that he shared with me after my coma and accident. And he says, Carter, you know, he said Cardinal Cowboy, no, he said Carter. He said, Carter, you know, it's not the error that destroys the game, that causes you to lose. It's how you respond to that error. It's how you overcome it and you continue no matter what happens, right? So you have the choice to overcome the hurdles. Never, ever, ever stop. Never give up. Along the way, I've gotten to do some incredible things. I've been very fortunate. Major League Baseball put me up to be the fan of the year. So in 2011, I went against the sign guy. You might know the sign guy, holds the big signs up at the Cardinal games. Ernie Hayes played the organ. Play along if you know this one. Ernie Hayes played the organ for the Cardinals, I think, for 50 years. He's the only guy who played for both the Blues and the Cardinals. Da 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 da. Charge! Isn't that a great message? That's what we've got, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you may have seen I've been selected as one of 21 superfans in the world, according to CNN, Bleacher Report magazine. And most recently, I was really proud of the fact that I went to visit some kids over in Illinois, a bit of a drive, wanted to give them my little pump me up speech right before they played a game. They nominated me for a little award for helping youth sports. I found out later that same award the previous year was given to a gal by the name of Jackie Joyner Kersee. Anybody know who Jackie Joyner Kersee is? Yeah, exactly. And I thought, wow, if I could only run as fast as Fred Bird. And that lady has had a huge impact. It was such an honor, but it helped me to realize the impact we're having, the changes we're helping to make happen so that kids believe that you can go from a horrible situation, no matter what it is, whether you didn't get the job, you didn't get the grade, your girlfriend broke up with you, you didn't get the promotion, you didn't get accepted where you thought you were, and you can still take that and use it as motivation now to get to that next level. Because the truth is, and this is so true, I wasn't the best baseball player because I was stronger, faster. Heck, some of you guys are taller than me. And I'm in the, Fred Bird's a little taller than me too. I'm a little bit older than the average 8th grader, would you assume, right? But I worked harder. I gave myself the resources. I went after it, and I never quit until I got there. What I found is you can't ever worry about what people think. You can't worry about what people are going to say. And I don't have to ever worry because I'm always working on something good to benefit someone. And when you have that motivation and that ambition and that drive behind you, it's very hard to stop you. The truth is, I just never, ever stop. Now, there's a couple things that most of you guys have heard about. Some of you know people who deal with these kinds of things. But I would say if you want to make sure that you are sure you're going to make your life as difficult as you can, then doing drugs is the best way to get there. Most of you realize that doing drugs is horrible for you. And I'm here to tell you, you have to stay away from drugs. I have watched way too many friends who had so much going for them, who got involved with the wrong people, the wrong crowd, the wrong influences, and literally had everything going for them, but got into drugs and it destroyed them. Some of my friends, alcohol the same way. And I've got friends now that are here, no longer here, as related to someone else who ran into them, or some other situation where we know alcohol was involved, and somebody that had the most incredible future, it was over. But because you stay away from those things, you focus on the positive, you stay on track with the people that are going to change your lives, the people you're going to help, you're going to be unstoppable. That's absolutely the case, and I have proven that time and time again. One of the most essential keys is to give back. You've got to help somebody. The more people you help, I didn't realize this, the more help you've got from people now that want to support you. Go out and find a charity, find an organization, go out of your way to make a difference, and suddenly you will build behind you an army of people that will stand behind you no matter what. And how much easier is it to get through life if you've got people supporting you to help you get there. Now I know it's just a matter of what do I want to accomplish next. I set my life, my mode to do so, and I never stop. I just go from one accomplishment to the next, never giving up. I run into hurdles, I run into issues, I run into negative people, but I never stop. And the ability I have is the same ability you have. Some of you are actually smarter, faster, more talented, but don't let that cause you to be lazy. Take that ability. The guy who works harder, I will try 10 times before the really smart person gets up to even try once. I will have failed 9 times, now learning what it takes and what's going to go wrong before someone else has even tried once. Think about the advantage that gives me. So last thing I want to hear from you guys. We're going to do this. I'm going to give you guys the Cardinal Cowboy card. On the Cardinal Cowboy card, this is a contract agreement that I'm going to give you guys. I think I brought enough of them here. We got some more out in the car if we need to grab some more. There you go, Fredbird. The card here says my pledge. I want you guys to stand up. I want you to put your right hand up for me. Put your other right hand up. You guys are looking, so it's like this. There you go. Put your right hand up. There you go. Switch to your. There you go. That's your right hand. And say with repeat after me. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? Repeat after me. Here we go. I promise to dream. And to always, always chase my dreams. And at every opportunity I have to also help other people chase their dreams. All right, you guys, when you come out of here, come by me. I'm going to give you one of the Cardinal Cowboy cards. On the count of three, give me a giddy up. 1, 2, 3. Giddy up! Woo! All right, you guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.